soon.
Soon.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Cool. So welcome to episode number 2 of, what are we calling this thing? Sales System Experts, I think. You have a cool mic.
Experts. Well, I don't know if it's that cool because I ordered a new one with a boom, and this one's got its little tripod.
Oh, see, look at this. Hold on. Check this.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That's professional grade.
Well, it's funny because I bought this like 6 years ago, and then I was like hunting around. So I'm in a standing desk, and I was like, oh, I think I remember buying something at some point that, and it was this thing. So,
well, the problem with me is that I like to move every 3 years. So every time I move, I'm like, I don't want to ship that.
Right.
Buy everything over and over again.
Yeah.
And so I've got this mic, which has this little tiny desk tripod.
Yeah.
But if I leave it here, how much different is the sound?
It's actually not that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
So
hold it up again.
It's not like amazingly better here?
No, it's not. It actually doesn't sound any different.
So I bet you it's because it's not tapped into this system, which I'm going to look at right now. Nope, it's not. It won't even give me the option for it. So me holding this mic by my face is completely irrelevant
to anything we're doing right now.
Right now. So if I can sit here like this the whole time, it won't make any difference whatsoever. All right. Well, on that note,
bam.
You do not have to be a genius to make money online.
No, you don't. I covered an entire week of affiliate marketing this week, and we all know there's affiliate marketers are not geniuses.
Affiliate marketing is like the lowest brow marketing possible, but it's a really easy way to make money.
It is.
Right? However, did you see, let's totally sidetrack this.
Yep.
Did you see the Wall Street Journal post this week on Amazon?
I did not.
So check it out.
Yep.
Basically, what Amazon says is when you sell on Amazon,
mm-hmm.
in the terms of service,
mm-hmm.
it says we will not study or copy your shit and launch our own products, right? Because people don't know that Amazon has their own products.
Yeah, totally.
The first one I think they started was the diaper company.
Yeah.
Right, and they just took right off, right?
Yep.
So they have their own products selling on Amazon, and most people might be even more confused like that and be like, aren't all the products on Amazon their products? No, all the products on Amazon are different companies' products, and they've put their products on Amazon, and Amazon's like the hub
mm-hmm.
that people buy from.
Yep.
Right, but let's just say you and I, Jason, we started the world's first ever recyclable titanium sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
And we listed them on Amazon. Amazon says, we're never going to look at your stuff and study your data if we ever decide to make recyclable titanium sunglasses. Right? Which that seems fair.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Turns out they've just had a bunch of employees that are no longer working there come out and say, oh yeah, we studied all the data. We studied all the funnels.
Yep.
We studied the whole process on multiple companies that Amazon launched their own product.
Yeah.
Busted. Great. Thievery and busted. And it was in the Wall Street Journal yesterday. And I don't know if it's true. I'm just quoting the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, there's going to be some serious class action lawsuits.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to take a piece out of Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
Who's a business owner? Because those poor business owners that list on Amazon get their ass handed to them like monthly.
Yep. Every month. Yeah.
Every month they're changing some terms and conditions. They're changing some way that algorithm works. They're investigating your product sources. Like it literally is the fastest moving target.
Yep.
On the planet.
Yep.
And so I think if you're a merchant that's on Amazon, you would love to be in a class action lawsuit against Amazon. And
what is it? Independent business owners are like 40% of the revenue on the e-commerce side. So
40%.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, this over the last week or two, Amazon cut the affiliate commissions on a huge amount of essential products.
Yep.
So almost like the network marketing companies of the world, they've got everybody to bring their friends and family in.
Yeah. Right.
And then they change the compensation plan 5 years ago.
Right.
Thanks for all the customers.
Yep.
And peace, we're out.
Yeah.
Right. And so not only have they, and not only did they do that, they did that during the apocalypse.
Right.
So all those people that were used to making all those affiliate commissions on XYZ product.
Yep.
During the apocalypse, they said, yeah, we just took that from whatever it was, 30%.
Yep.
I don't even know what it was, down to like 2%.
Right. Totally.
So in the span of 2 weeks, they've kicked a whole bunch of people who built their company in the balls.
Yep.
They've done it during the time when they need the money the most.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been busted stealing IP from people who were on their platform, duplicating it and making their own products. That's a nasty triplicate of information there.
Well, and I just read that Amazon, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Amazon was looking at a $1.4 trillion valuation and on the road to $2 trillion. And Bezos just bought his 4th apartment in the same building for $16 million. And he's doing like a big, multi-story thing. Which
is, I have nothing against. No. I'm pro capital, pro entrepreneur, pro everything.
Yeah, totally. Right?
And I got no hate for Bezos for how many millions he makes a minute.
Nope.
However, I think it's greasy to kick your affiliates in the balls during the apocalypse.
Yep.
And 2, everyone's always talking about the Chinese. Yep. They're stealing our secrets. They're studying it. Bezos been stealing the secrets.
Right.
Then launching his own companies.
Yeah.
To compete with you. And just coincidentally, I bet a lot of those companies lost their bestseller status not too long after he launched his competing product on his own platform. Now that's just my tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah.
But I would love to. Amazon doesn't open their data to anybody.
Right. Totally.
Right. Yeah. Like Amazon's not like Facebook, or you can't API Amazon's data.
No.
Right. It'd be amazing to see like what was the time, between them launching their own competing product and the number 1 competing product falling off of the bestseller status.
Right.
Yeah. Would that be interesting to see? So, hey, they got lots of money, right? So they could fade class action lawsuits in the billions and be like,
right,
we're good. It was worth
it.
Yeah. Like Volkswagen did when they sold all those like cars, the guys of like they're eco-friendly and there was like nothing different about them. It was like the straight lie, straight scam. And they got like a $5 billion fine or something. And I was like, how can you fine a company $5 billion?
Well, Facebook, $5 billion fine from the FTC.
Was it $5 billion?
$5 billion, yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised I don't know that.
Yeah, it was they just I actually don't know that they actually paid it yet. The last I knew they hadn't paid it, and it had been a while, but yeah. Where the hell is your Frankenstein mug?
I just picked it up and I was like, I don't have my mug.
Wow.
And you're supposed to like have continuity amongst episodes. Yeah. I almost feel like I should go get it. But I don't want to disrupt where we're going. So
Facebook groups.
Let's talk about groups. Let's talk about Facebook groups. We've spread all this breaking news about Amazon.
Yeah.
Many people don't know.
Yeah.
And now we're going to totally pivot to Facebook groups. So maybe we should give it some ground, some context. Some context, yeah. So talk about like normal funnels, and you talk about like normal funnels, what you can expect, engagement, conversions, and then let's talk about Facebook. While you're setting the tone, I'm gonna go get my mug.
Okay, there you go. All right. So normal funnels. Basically, a normal sales funnel is very linear. Somebody comes in and they go from signing up as a lead to moving through some sort of I call them content-based assets, but basically it's a lead magnet, a sales video, an automated webinar, all of that kind of stuff that works them through a sales model and then gets them to sell. So it's a one-to-many. Sales funnels are a Josh is gonna run around. All right, there you go, buddy. Get it? Oh, hold on. There we go. There it is.
Yes.
All right. So sales funnels are a one-to-many relationship. It's really it's a one. Sales funnels are built to sell to multiple people at the same time. It's a one-to-many kind of sales platform. And he's back, so we're gonna flip back over here. So yeah, there it is. So the sales funnels are one-to-many. You build it once, many people go through, but it's a one-to-one relationship. So somebody has a relationship with you and the brand. What we're going to talk about now is about kind of having a relationship with the rest of the community and getting support out of the community to then sell into your thing. Correct?
Yeah, 100%. That's, the funnel is one-to-one, and it's turn it on, enroll as many people as you can through it, and give them information, and you make them an offer.
Yep.
Very basic.
Yep.
Right. But, what is important to know is when you build a sales funnel, there's typically like a ceiling as to how much money you're going to be able to convince a person to part with.
Yep.
In a funnel. And Mike Dillard said one time that he feels you can ask for up to $500 per hour that you spend with a human being. I would say he's shorted it by half, because I think it's been really popular to build webinar funnels where you can sell $9.95 on an hour-long webinar funnel. So I think that if you do it right, it's potentially $1,000
per hour
for every hour you spend with somebody.
It's a good metric to know. That's where I would have placed it, but I didn't necessarily have like that number in mind. Whereas like, what was it, about 4 years ago? It was probably 3,000 an hour. Like it was 2,000, 3,000. Like you could literally sell a $2,000 or $3,000 offer like on a 1 hour long webinar.
Yeah, and I think that people have become desensitized to it.
Yeah,
and it's become commoditized a bit. So I think it's gone down. Maybe Mike is more in line with where where it's at now. It's somewhere between 500 and the reason why is that because people have to know, like, and trust you.
Yep.
Right. If you watch Simon Sinek's Start With Why, he said facts and figures are cerebral, but buying decisions are limbic.
Yep.
So the gut decision, which is what powers trust and those, that's internal. So the more people know, like, and trust you, the more likely they are to buy. So that's a time investment.
Yep.
So where what's becoming really popular right now are Facebook funnels, where you essentially offer to give something away for free or a very, very low amount, like a boot camp, like a 3-day, a 5-day, a 10-day. I've even seen somebody do lately, where people can acquire some type of skill or solve some type of problem and get to know you better. And it's a very simple funnel. It's literally add to landing page to thank you page to join the private Facebook group to have a start date, for it, and have an end date, and then be delivering a little piece of content daily from your start date, your end date, your 3-day, your 5-day, your 10-day, a little bit of homework that you give. And then as people are conversing with you, just engaging with people, answering their questions, posting questions, like you were at a party.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hey, what do you do? What's your biggest issue? What do you find the most fun? And creating that environment. And that allows the client to ultimately get to know you at a deeper level and what you're all about. And what I'm seeing is that on the tail ends of 3 to 5 day boot camps, even with a free opt-in, to it, like not charging them first, we're seeing people be able to consistently do a 10-to-1 return on ad spend. So what they're spending on the front end to get them in, when they're selling a $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, 8-week intensive or whatever after the boot camp, they're converting enough people to get a 10-to-1 return on their ad spend, which is enormous. Absolutely enormous. And I actually had a client that I was talking to last night that's coming on board, and he did a 10-day one just recently, which I've never heard. And it was a very specific type of business, like how to find undervalued businesses and turn them around, and and et cetera, et cetera. And he was explaining his system. And he was charging $17,000 for his program.
Yep.
At the end of this. And he closed like 18 people on his first one. And I was like, wow, that is a big number. Like off of a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Right. But he gave 10 days of content. And
Yeah.
He started with something like 200 people. And by the end of it, there was like 40 people paying attention after the days.
Yeah.
But those 40 people were really into it.
Yeah.
You know, so when he offered like the full blown program, they bid, they were excited. And I was like, wow, that is a big number.
Yeah.
You know, it was 10 people at 100 at 17 grand. So he pulled $170,000 out after a 10-day boot camp.
Yeah. So what does like lead generation look like? Is it into like a lead magnet report, confirmation page, and then like email?
Absolutely not. It is straight up, here's what you're getting. So, you know, hey, XYZ prospect, have you ever wanted to learn more about how to find undervalued businesses, turn them around and flip them for profit? My name's XYZ person. I've been doing this for 20 years. Here's my background. And so many people have asked me about it that I am launching a free 10-day boot camp starting on X date. In this boot camp, you're going to learn about X, Y, and Z. If you'd like to be a part of it, click below. Goes to a landing page, capture name, email, phone number if you want, so that they're on your list, right? Because that's the biggest challenge with Facebook groups, right? Nobody wants to do anything in Facebook group because now Facebook owns the data. You don't own the data, right? And they could shut your group off, right? So the way you get around that is obviously you capture their name and their email before they get into the group. Right. And on the thank you page, it says, hey, thanks for, joining, here's how to join the group. Click this button and then they join the group. And a lot of people are like, why would you do it in a group? Why wouldn't you just do it by email or Zoom or like any of these things? Well, the benefits of the group is that we live on our phones. And when you're in a group, you're getting just constant notifications.
Yeah.
So you're not having to leave your ecosystem
of
your phone to go to a different ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the power of Facebook groups, right?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Super.
So after the 5 or 10 day boot camp, how is the pitch made? So after all the free shit is done,
live in a group on the last day. And then it will, what I'm seeing work really, really well is 2 options. So you do the pitch in a Facebook Live in the group on the last day.
Yep.
And then you offer them 2 opportunities: a strategy session with you to talk about it, or direct to link.
Okay, so, like an add to cart.
Yeah, exactly. Like here's the link to go to get started.
Yeah.
And have an open and shut date. Like we are starting this in 5 days.
Yep.
Because without that sense of urgency, people won't act.
Right.
So having that sense of urgency is super important, but literally saying to people, like, here's my offer, here's the price, here's when it starts.
Yep.
I'm only going to take X amount of people to also create that sense of urgency. And then if you have questions, like if you're really interested in this, but you just got a couple questions you want to ask me, you can go ahead and book a strategy session.
Gotcha.
Because you don't want to be like, take the whole group to strategy session, because there's a whole bunch of people who will just be happy to buy. Yeah. So sending them to a buy link allows them to just buy. But for those people that have just a couple questions, that extra strategy session makes sense. And then what we do is we count down inside of the group for the next 5. Hey, there's only 4 days left to register, 3 days left to register. Right. Yeah. Right. And we hit them with the emails because we captured from the beginning. Here's the offer: 4-day, 3-day, 2-day. And then we retarget all the people that joined the group for free. Yeah. We retarget them in Facebook and Instagram back to the order page.
Oh, gotcha.
So we're hitting them from 4 different places: inside the group, email, retargeting, and strategy sessions. Yep. Right. So really, really effective model that just allows you to bond with people more and create that sense of trust. That's just hard to pull off
one-to-one kind of, or a sales funnel. So listening to it, I kind of think back to like, so Aaron, you and I have been doing this for a long time. The Jeff Walker product launch formula,
Yes.
basically the product launch formula created like a launch echo is what he called it. But basically it was like the entire marketplace kind of moving in the same direction at the same time, all through email. And this is before like YouTube was huge and Facebook was huge. And I mean, beginning parts of Facebook at least, but he, like the product launch formula basically was able to mobilize an entire community through 3 or 4 videos. But now it's like we are more connected than ever, but yet disconnected, and everybody's kind of doing something at a different time. So this group model makes sense because people can, it's unveiled to a collective group without the weird emails and, without emails and a bunch of other things.
Well, and it adds the engagement factor, right? Because the guru can be talking to the people responding, replying, commenting in the group. The problem with Jeff Walker's stuff, and Jeff Walker's been hugely successful. He was very revolutionary in the last decade. But Jeff Walker's product launch formula doesn't work for cold traffic.
Right.
It only works if you have a built-in email list. You got to build an email list first and then do the product launch formula, where you don't have to have the email list for this. You can go cold traffic right into the group and be nurturing in the group and then launch. So it's very similar to his strategy, except there's 2 added benefits to it. 1, you can do it to cold traffic. And 2, you can be constantly engaging people in that group for 4 days. Which is, it allows you to bond, right? So, it's similar with 2 added benefits.
Before, like with Jeff Walker stuff, like the comments were a big part of it, like the comments underneath the sales page video. And then his reply in those comments was how that engagement was born. But with this model, it's like the guru, of course, is important, but other members other group members are supporting other group members too, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And
entire teams can jump into this 5-day boot camp or whatever.
And you can really define how engaged you want to be with that group. Like, you have to do at minimum 1 live per day with a piece of homework. But I've seen people do a whole bunch of random other things, like,
live videos and shit. And
fireside chats where I'm just going to take questions for 30 minutes, in the middle of the boot camp. Like, the more you engage with the group, the better off it is, right? In your conversions on the back end. So if you can carve out 3 to 5 days and say, I'm going to be all in on this for 5 days because I'm going to make $250,000, then it's worth it.
Oh yeah, totally. How often can you do these? So, I mean, you can't like roll from one boot camp into another. You
gotta have at least 30 days in between each one. And obviously it's dependent on the size of the audience that you're marketing to. Right? Like, if you were just saying, I'm going to do this for hair replacement surgeons, you would probably need to do it no more than once a quarter.
Right.
Because it's a small audience. Right. But if you were doing it to BizOps seekers or, something where there's just,
that group it's always changing.
It's so big, right? That group is so big that you can literally be doing it every 2 weeks.
If you wanted.
If you wanted to.
And then just have a team fulfill out of the backside.
Absolutely.
It makes sense. Cool.
Really, really successful. Like our and it's really easy to set up. That's the other benefit of this. Is it's like we have real elaborate funnels, right? Like, evergreen, ever webinar, multi-touch, SMS, email.
And then there's this, which is relatively simple.
This is like add, landing page, thank you page, group. Order page.
And a lot of people probably skip the first 3 steps and just go right to group, and they nurture the group and then grab order information out of the backside. Niche wise, what are some of the niches you've seen be successful with groups?
Lead gen. I've seen like personal branding.
Okay.
I've seen any type of education.
Like
the one I was talking about earlier today. Education and BizOps, they're just so weirdly intertwined, right?
Well, especially now.
Like it's
now.
I want to make more money. Okay, what do you want to make more money doing? this. Well, then let's educate you on that, right?
Right.
Amazon coaching, although I just bashed the hell out of Amazon this morning. It's just a communication portal.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have something that's really valuable that you can teach, and you have a course that you want to launch, a coaching program or whatever after it, this is just a great way to engage people. It almost kind of reminds me of like a 4-day seminar or something.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was, as I was asking the question, how many live event companies, you and I both have clients that are live event companies, and, how many were displaced by this pandemic, and how many people or physical locations with memberships that can use this group model to recreate some of the best parts of it and perhaps pivot into an even bigger, better, more dynamic business than what they had before.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have a client. I mean, we have a mutual client right now that we won't talk about, that we're testing this model versus another model. Yeah. And it almost, when you think about it, it almost emulates what they do.
Yeah.
If anything, it might be better.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of times in those live seminar models, you got a lot of talking, but you don't have a lot of interacting.
Right.
So a guy comes out on stage and he's like, hey, I'm the guru.
Yeah.
This is what I've done. This is what I can teach you. This is what, you could become. And here's my offer.
Yep.
And then it's go to the back of the room and fill out your form and whatever.
Yeah. Well, you're interacting with their people, not necessarily them,
Right.
So, yeah.
You're interacting with a stage and a group, right? Yeah. Which is always better than recording, which is why you convert much higher at live events than you do virtually.
Yeah.
But this is like, hey, here's my thing that I'm going to teach you.
Yeah.
Now go do it.
Yeah.
We'll try it out a little bit, and let's talk about how you're doing.
Yeah, totally.
For a day, right? Yep. And now that confidence is getting built up in the right people. Right. It's way more engaging. So it's almost like combining the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Now the videos, so the bootcamp sessions need to be video based. Live stream, I'm sure helps work.
Live stream, 100%.
Live stream. Okay.
Facebook Live, yeah.
And then are the live streams promoted at all, or they're just
inside the group?
Just inside the group. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just had this conversation with a mutual friend of ours, Andrew, before this, and he had made a post in one of our groups for one of our companies. And let's clarify here. If you have an offer of any type, you should have a Facebook group right now. And when somebody buys from you, one of the very first things that you should say is join our private Facebook group.
Yeah.
Because if you look at something like ClickFunnels, almost their entire customer service is operated inside of their Facebook group. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because it's them plus all the members responding.
Right. So it's
and there's a huge amount of engagement that happens there. Right. So, in one of our groups that we have right now, he made a post the other day, and it was something to do with sales funnels. Like, hey, would you be interested in having us evaluate your sales funnel or whatever? Yeah. A whole bunch of comments that came back. Yeah. And what I said to him is that he was super excited about how many people had responded and how much he could engage with people. And I said to him, if you'd done that on a Facebook Live, we would have had 10 times more engagement.
Right.
And he said, I had no idea. Why would there be 10 times more engagement? I said, because you have to understand that Facebook has what they want you to do. Yeah. But then they have a whole bunch of things that you can do. So they give you lots of options. Yeah. But there's a certain thing they want you to do. Yep. And they want you to do video.
Oh, totally.
Why do they want you to do video, Jason?
Yeah, they want to displace YouTube.
Right. Well, they can't shove an ad in the text that you write. Yep. But they can shove an ad in your video. Yep. And they need more inventory.
Yep. They need more inventory.
And people are like, what do you mean Facebook needs inventory? What Facebook's inventory is where they can put ads. Yeah. They don't have any room left in the desktop newsfeed. They don't have any room left in the sidebar.
Well, that's Instagram, WhatsApp. I mean, a big part of those acquisitions were they actually just invested $5.7 billion in a telco in India.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of it is for more ad space. I mean, if you listen to any of their any of their investor recap days, like they're literally saying, well, before pre-virus, we are running out of ad space. Now, yeah, we're out. Yeah. We're creating new places, new placements for ads. And now it's, advertisers are kind of running for the hills unless you're us and, swallowing up as much inventory as you possibly can. But
the point ultimately is that if you play their game by their rules, you'll get way more out of it.
Oh, well, it's so funny because since like doing the GSD dailies, like I've promoted probably a handful, 10 or 15 of those, like 30 now live streams. And they're long as shit in myself and dry and like, but I am literally getting, through plays for 2 cents. I'm getting finished 30-minute watches like for, $1. Like,
wow.
What? Right.
This is what I try to explain. So people might be like this going, is that good? Right? We have to like frame this. If I stood on the corner of a downtown city street when it was busy, right, in New York, and said, I will give you $1 if you'll listen to me for the next 30 minutes. Every single person I offered that to would tell me to fuck off.
Yep, totally.
Right? Your people are listening to you for 30 minutes for $1.
Yep.
Which is getting them to know, like, and trust you.
Yep.
That you can now retarget with an offer later on, and the likelihood of them buying is exponentially higher because they've watched 2 hours of your stuff.
Right. Well, it gets back into your first metric, which is how much are they worth per hour? $1,000?
Absolutely.
So
you're trading dollars for thousands.
Right. Yep.
That's pretty good ROI.
To be paid off sometime in the future.
When you decide to tap into it, capitalize on it, right? And even taking it a step further on the Facebook stuff, one of our chief strategists at our agency at 7 Mile Media showed us in the last 6 months worth of data, not like yesterday, last week.
Yep.
Right. This guy's like our chief data officer. He's like, yeah, we're 40% lower on cost per acquisition when we use dynamic creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which most people might not know about, right? Like dynamic creative means you put 5 images or 5 videos or 5 pieces of text and they just rotate them for you.
Yep. Right.
Versus putting one in and then creating another ad with another one and creating another ad with another one. The difference between the two is you're allowing them to rotate it however they want it.
Which is like a black box.
Yeah, exactly. But they want more control in their algorithm of opportunities and options.
Yep.
We're a 40% reduction in CPA because we're doing what they want us to do.
Yeah.
They want us to optimize budgets at the campaign level.
Yep.
They want us to use dynamic creative. They want us to use auto placements.
Yep.
Not in the feeds only. They want you to be able to put it as many places you can because they don't have any inventory.
Right.
So they're giving us better traffic and more conversions for doing what they want.
Yep.
So
as long as it's not an audience network, you're okay.
Bro, I've got some of my cheapest conversions in audience network.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we auto placement everything we do in the agency. And people are like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, we auto placement everything. We leverage the algorithm.
Yep. That is awesome. Once you have conversion data, you can use this network. Don't try.
I disagree, bro. I go straight auto right out of the gates.
Really?
I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all.
They'll figure it out, right? Eventually.
And in 3 years, there's not even going to be this stuff. It's going to be put the ad worldwide, open targeting, the algorithm. Algorithm will be so good, it's like,
yeah.
We'll be out of business. It'll be amazing.
Oh shit, that's good stuff. Ads, Facebook groups. What else do you want to talk about? Anybody have any questions? So anybody's watching.
Yeah, see, you're like, what else should we talk about? And then we forget we've already been on here for like 35 minutes. And we're trying to keep it to 30s to hold attention span.
We should probably just on the next episode, what should we talk about?
I think we should talk about the 5 conversion killers in any funnel. Because I had some today I was going to talk about, but then you took me in a different direction.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the 5 conversion killers. That's a great idea for a podcast next week.
I think it's awesome. We can look at all of our own data and all of our own fuck ups. And
I got plenty of those.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
100%.
That sounds good. Cool. I love it.
All right. Signing out.
Yeah. Have fun. See you next Friday.
Episode number 2 in the books.
See ya.